Well, if like me you're into survival horror, when it was available you went and got Outlast Trinity because it was number 1 and 2. But you know what? We're going to take a look at the original, Outlast. Well, the original Outlast is a game that was developed and published by Red Barrels, and it came out on quite a few platforms, originally on the Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Linux, OS X, and most recently the Nintendo Switch. The PlayStation 4 version was 2014, Microsoft Windows was a year previous, and apparently it is available for the Switch in Japan only. It got released in February this year. Well, just to give you a little bit of background information, you play the role of Miles, who is a journalist. You've had a bit of a tip-off to say that there's all sorts that's going on at the Mount Massive Asylum. Now, when you turn up, the security hut is empty, there's nobody there, it all seems a little bit too quiet, so you gain access to the asylum only to find that there's basically a load of staff that have been butchered. Now, this asylum is being run by a corporation called the Morkoff Corporation. And once you are inside and you find out, bloody hell, everyone's butchered, you can't get out the way you came in. You do stumble across a SWAT team, and one of them is alive, barely, and basically he's telling you, get out, just get out. The problem is, as I've already said, you can't get out the way you got in, and the rest of the story starts to unravel. It's not one that hooks me right at the very beginning of the story, so I am only going to give it 7 out of 10.
They killed us. They got out. The variants. You can't fight them. You have to hide. You can unlock the main doors from security and control. You have to get the fuck out of this terrible place.
Audio. Well, I really do like it. The only problem is, the music ramps up, you know something's about to happen. But what music you do here is extremely in keeping with this game. The actual other noises and sound effects all around you are all perfect. There is a ton of jump scares in this game, and if you really allow yourself to get into the game, you're going to start screaming at the TV. Yes, you will. It's brilliant, it's all very authentic, it really does bring you, the player, into the game even further. It's just going to get a very easy 8 out of 10.
little pig.
And who are you, then? I see. Merciful God, you have sent me an apostle. Guard your life, son. You have a calling.
Controls. Well, these are, well, they're quite brilliant, to be honest with you. They're not taxing in one little bit. It is an almost pick up and play game. The game will of course teach you what buttons to press and when to press them, so that after a short while it becomes very easy and you'll just get on with it. You know, the left analog stick is to move your character, the right is to pan the camera around. Bring the camera up to your face, well that's L1, push R3, you've got your night vision on. Squares to pick up, X is to jump, and it's as simple as that. The hard part is remembering the correct button to press when you're beginning to panic. Let's say I'm running, as I am now, down a darkened corridor. All of a sudden you'll find yourself, well, I can't move any further. No, because you forgot to push X to jump over the barrier, and that's allowing the git behind you now to hit you for all you're worth. So try not to panic and you'll survive. It's easy, maybe not as responsive as I would like, but more than adequate. I'm going to give it another 8 out of 10.
I want it.
I'm sorry, my son. I didn't want to have to do this to you. But you can't leave. Not yet. There is so much yet for you to witness. Will you see it? Can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Graphics. Well, these are certainly not the best the PlayStation 4 can offer, but while I'm running down a corridor trying to escape a homicidal inmate, all he wants to do is bash my brains in. The last thing on my mind is, oh, isn't that a pretty picture? But seriously, there is a ton of detail in this game. The graphics, I think, are more than adequate. The amount of gore that you also see at times is very disturbing and is, well, borderline hellish, to be quite honest. The fact, though, that you can hear inmates chatting to you and look at them and watch them, how they're going to try to get hold of you and slit your guts open, is very disturbing. I can't really knock it too much, to be quite honest. It is way more than adequate. I think it's brilliant, and bear in mind that a lot of this game is played in the dark. It is supposed to be a stealth survival horror game, so that's when the night vision camera comes into play, which is just fantastic. But as you've already seen, when you're trying to escape or run away from someone, the experience gets heightened, and it's fantastic for doing that visually. And for that, I'm going to give it another 8 out of 10.
Hey, you're that bullshit priest's guy, aren't you? His witness or whatever. You must be exhausted. No, let's take a break, huh, buddy? The old 2-martini lunch? Have a little confab, blah, blah. Heavier than you look. A little cardio wouldn't kill you. Okay, here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times. I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead, I'll wait here. Go on, run free. I'm in no hurry. No? All right. Nose to the grindstone, I like that. Okay then, right this way. We're putting that tongue to any use anyway. Truth be told, I was just tired of licking my own stance. Here we are then. Thanks so much for coming by. We'll begin your consultation in a moment. It'll just need a second to wash up and, movies. And it'll give us a chance to talk. You know, I'm a bit worried how much time you've been spending with Father Martin. I hope you haven't been letting him confuse you with all his holier-than-thou Bible thumping. No offense to the man, but I sometimes worry he might just be a little bit crazy. It's understandable when people get scared. They're as like to turn to God as anything else. God died with the gold standard. We're on to a more concrete faith now. You have to rob Paul to pay Peter. There's no other way. Murder is the simplest form, but what happens when all money's gone? Well, money becomes a matter of faith. And that's what I'm here for. To make you believe. You paying attention? Don't pass out on me. There's still a lot for you to absorb. better now, right? You understand how we cheat here? We made the consumer into the means of production. This thing is gonna sell itself.
Gameplay. Well, the game does have pretty good stealth mechanics, and really that's how you should be trying to play this game. Try and stay stealthy, keep in the shadows, keep out of people's line of vision, try not to walk in on any danger. But sometimes that is easier said than done. The night vision camera is your best weapon. You can't attack anyone, bear that in mind. So if you are spotted, you've got two courses of action to take. Run and hope that you can outrun them, or hide. You can hide under a bed, in cupboards, in storage cupboards. If you're running through doors or corridors, if there's a door, close it behind you. That will slow them down. If you can push anything in front of the door, that will also slow them down. But try and find that exit quickly. If all else fails, just keep running and just keep trying to dodge them. Also, bear in mind that video camera you're using is constantly draining of battery, so keep a lookout for batteries, pick them up and use your camera sparingly. There is also documents to collect throughout the areas. If you collect these, give them a read, it just adds more to the story. There is a little bit of puzzles within the game as well, but they're not taxing, and again, try and stay as stealthy as possible when doing these. The replay value in the game, it's not great, but once you pick it up, it is a very hard game to put down. I found that certainly once I've completed the game, it's not one I'm going to be ripping off the shelf, but give it 6 to 12 months, have another play, there'll be a ton of it you've obviously forgot, and you will thoroughly enjoy the game again. So for gameplay, it's just going to get another easy 8 out of 10. Overall, if you enjoy stealth survivor horror games where jump scares are thick and fast, then this is certainly the game for you. It is a game that once you do pick up, there is more than enough story content to keep you wanting to play the game till the end. But unfortunately, once it's played through once, it certainly is not the game that's going to be dragged off your shelf every other week. But give it maybe 6 months to a year, play it again. You will thoroughly enjoy it. There'll be a load of the game that you've forgot, and you'll just enjoy the experience yet again. And for that, it's getting an overall score of 7.8. The game does come highly recommended.
Let us out of here. Nurse! I'm gonna need some help getting clean. Nurse!
you have Outlast. It's a brilliant game. When I first picked this up, what the hell am I doing? Because I'm used to, well, shooting, hitting people back. And this game, you don't do any of that. You don't hit anyone. You've basically got to run away, hide, get yourself out of trouble. And it's totally different. And I think because of that is why I've certainly enjoyed it so much. And if you pick it up, you enjoy your survival horrors, you will get an absolute blast playing this. The second one is even better, but I've certainly nowhere near to playing that one properly yet, so I'll just have to wait and see. Well, I'm just about out of time. I hope you've enjoyed this. As always, I've certainly enjoyed bringing this to you. Don't forget, tomorrow is our bonus video. Give you guys the insight. It is intros and trailers, all from horror games. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Drop me any comments, please. I'll catch you all again. Take care.